the haunted hotel, true accounts of guests who never checked out. It was a dark and stormy night when Sarah and her boyfriend Jack decided to check into the haunted hotel. Despite the warnings from locals, the couple brushed it off as superstition and thought it would add to the excitement of their weekend getaway. As soon as they stepped into their room, they felt a chilling presence. The air was thick with an eerie silence, broken only by the occasional creaking of the old floorboards. Jack tried to shake it off as paranoia, but Sarah knew there was something wrong. Unable to sleep, Sarah got up to use the bathroom. As she opened the door, she was horrified to find a blood-soaked towel lying on the floor. She quickly woke Jack and they searched the room, but found nothing out of the ordinary. The next morning, the hotel staff were acting strangely, as if they were hiding something. Sarah couldn't shake off the feeling that something was terribly wrong. As they were about to leave, they overheard the hotel staff discussing a murder that had taken place in the room next to theirs. The same night they arrived, Sarah and Jack were in shock. They had spent the night in a room next to a murder scene, and the hotel staff had tried to cover it up. It was a traumatizing experience, and they never spoke of it again. But the horrors of the haunted hotel didn't end there. Over years, numerous guests had checked in but never checked out. Some were found dead in their rooms, while others had simply disappeared without a trace. Despite the rumors and warnings, the haunted hotel continued to lure in unsuspecting victims. And as the years went by, the hotel's dark secrets remained buried, waiting for the next innocent guest to stumble upon them. One day, a group of paranormal investigators decided to stay at the haunted hotel to uncover the truth behind the strange occurrences that had been happening there for years. As soon as they arrived, they set up their equipment and began their investigation. As the night wore on, they heard strange noises, felt cold drafts, and saw shadowy figures moving in the corners of their eyes. They captured eerie footage and recordings that couldn't be explained by rational means. But as they were packing up to leave, one of the investigators went missing. They searched the entire hotel, but he was nowhere to be found. The only clue they had was a blood-stained piece of cloth they found in his room. The remaining investigators realized that they had stumbled upon something much more sinister than they had anticipated. They continued to dig deeper into the hotel's history and discovered that it was built on the site of an old asylum, where patients were mistreated and left to die. It was believed that the spirits of these tortured souls had never left and had been haunting the hotel ever since it was built. And now they had claimed another victim. The investigators never spoke of their experience at the haunted hotel again. But rumors continued to circulate about the hotel's dark past and the ghostly apparitions that still haunt its halls. The lesson remains clear. Some places are better left untouched, and the haunted hotel is definitely one of them. Years passed, and the haunted hotel remained closed and abandoned. Its dark history became the stuff of legends, and the locals warned visitors to stay away. But one day, a group of thrill-seekers decided to break into the hotel to explore its haunted halls. They climbed over the boarded-up windows and forced their way inside. As they roamed through the hotel, they felt the same eerie presence that had scared off so many before them, but they didn't heed the warnings and continued their exploration. Suddenly, heard footsteps coming from the hallway. They froze, terrified, as the footsteps grew louder and closer, and then they saw a ghostly apparition of a woman dressed in white, with long hair and a face twisted in agony. The woman's eyes locked onto the group, and she let out a blood-curdling scream. The group tried to run, but the doors and windows wouldn't budge. They were trapped. The ghostly woman continued to scream, and the walls began to shake. The group realized too late that they had awakened an evil that was better left undisturbed. No one knows what happened to the group of thrill-seekers, but their disappearance only added to the haunted hotel's gruesome history. To this day, the haunted hotel remains abandoned, a constant reminder of the horrors that took place within its walls. It serves as a warning to those who dare to seek out the unknown, that sometimes the price of curiosity is too high to pay. After the disappearance of the thrill-seekers, the townspeople sealed off the haunted hotel, determined to prevent anyone from ever entering again. But over the years, the stories and legends surrounding the hotel continued to grow. It became a popular destination for ghost hunters and paranormal investigators who sought to uncover the truth behind the hotel's dark past. Despite the warnings and rumors, some thrill-seekers still attempted to break into the hotel, driven by curiosity and a desire for adventure, but they never returned, adding to the hotel's gruesome legacy. As time passed, the hotel fell into disrepair, its once grand facade now crumbling and decayed. But despite its dilapidated state, the hotel remained an object of fascination and fear for those who knew its secrets. Then one day, a wealthy businessman bought the property and announced plans to renovate it and turn it into a luxury hotel and resort. The locals were outraged, convinced that the hotel was cursed and should be left alone. But the businessman didn't listen. He poured millions of dollars into the renovation, determined to bring the haunted hotel back to its former glory. As construction crews began to work on the hotel, strange things began to happen. Tools went missing, equipment malfunctioned, and workers reported feeling a sinister presence lurking in the shadows. But the businessman ignored the warnings, dismissing the incidents as mere superstition. He was determined to make the hotel a success, no matter the cost. On the day of the hotel's grand reopening, the businessman held a lavish ceremony, inviting guests from all over the world to come and experience the hotel's luxurious amenities. But as the guests began to arrive, they realized that something was terribly wrong. The hotel's walls were oozing with slime, and strange noises echoed throughout the halls, and then the screams began. The guests tried to run, but the doors and windows were sealed shut. They were trapped at the mercy of the hotel's vengeful spirits. The businessman was never seen again, and the haunted hotel was abandoned once more, its dark secrets buried deep within its walls. Today, the haunted hotel still stands, a haunting reminder of the dangers of greed and the consequences of meddling with forces beyond our understanding. It remains sealed off, a warning to those who dare to seek out the unknown, that some secrets should never be uncovered. After the disastrous reopening of the haunted hotel, the town council made the decision to demolish the building, hoping to erase the dark legacy that it left behind. But as they began the demolition process, strange things started to happen. The demolition crew reported seeing ghostly apparitions wandering through the halls of the hotel, and their equipment would malfunction without any explanation. The townspeople began to suspect that the spirits of those who had died in the hotel were seeking revenge for the atrocities that had taken place there. But in the end, the demolition was halted, and the town council decided to leave the hotel standing, choosing instead to erect a fence around the property to keep people out. Years went by, and the haunted hotel remained abandoned and forgotten. But one day, a group of teenagers dared each other to spend a night inside the hotel, eager to test their bravery and see if the stories of the hotel's haunting were true. As they entered the hotel, they heard strange noises and saw shadows moving in the corners of their eyes. But as the night wore on, the teens realized that they were not alone. They heard footsteps coming from the hallway, and doors creaked open on their own. They saw ghostly apparitions floating through the air, and heard whispers that they couldn't quite make out. And then they heard a blood-curdling scream. One of the teens had disappeared, and the others could not find him anywhere. They searched the hotel frantically, but he was nowhere to be found. And then they saw him, a ghostly figure, dressed in old-fashioned clothing, beckoning to them from the end of the hallway. The teens fled in terror, but the ghostly figure pursued them relentlessly. They realized too late that they had awakened the spirits of the haunted hotel, and they were not willing to let anyone leave alive. In the end, the only thing that remained of the teens was a backpack, found abandoned outside the hotel's gates. The townspeople, convinced that the hotel was cursed, chose to leave it standing, a warning to others that some secrets are better left buried.